Jungkook's birthday has always been special to his fans, ARMY. Each year, fans across the world decorate streets, build billboards, sponsor charity projects, and launch digital campaigns to honor him. But this year was different. Instead of just watching from afar, HYBE chose to step in and create something monumental, an event that not only recognized Jungkook as an artist, but also positioned him as a figure of generational influence. It was more than a birthday, it was a statement. The concept of collective celebration is not new in K-pop, but rarely has it reached this scale. What HYBE orchestrated this year was a carefully planned global synergy between fans, media, and the entertainment industry. Billboards in New York's Times Square, massive LED installations in Seoul, and digital countdowns across international platforms became synchronized markers of the day. Fans who logged in from different time zones felt like they were part of a worldwide festival, connected through one individual's existence. The emotional weight came from the fact that this wasn't just an entertainment stunt. For fans who have followed Jungkook from his teenage trainee days to his solo career success, the event carried the weight of shared history. Every song, performance, and struggle became condensed into one moment, a birthday that was less about candles and more about legacy. HYBE's decision to elevate it to this scale acknowledged what fans have always known. Jungkook is not just an idol, he is a cultural touchstone. Timing is everything in the entertainment industry, and HYBE understood the significance of this particular birthday. Jungkook had just reached new milestones in his solo career, breaking records on international charts, becoming the face of global brands, and drawing headlines with every move. He wasn't only representing BTS anymore. He was standing as a solo figure in the global music industry. HYBE knew this was the right time to cement that image. By investing in the largest birthday celebration in K-pop history, the company ensured that the world would not just see Jungkook as an artist, but as an enduring icon. This wasn't about personal celebration alone, it was about making a public statement of power, presence, and permanence. What made the event more powerful was the active participation of fans. Unlike traditional celebrity birthdays where fans might send gifts or trend hashtags, ARMY turned Jungkook's birthday into a multi-layered movement. Charity donations were made in his name, wildlife preservation projects were launched, and scholarships were funded. At the same time, fans filled cities with giant LED screens, cafe events, and subway station ads, all synchronized with HYBE's grand plans. The result was a seamless collaboration, company and fans working together for one purpose. It was not just HYBE telling the world how important Jungkook is, it was the world showing HYBE that they already knew. This mutual acknowledgement created an emotional resonance that was impossible to ignore. The scale of the celebration pushed Jungkook's birthday into mainstream culture. News outlets around the world covered the event not as entertainment news, but as cultural reporting. Articles compared the spectacle to national festivals, noting how one artist's day could mobilize millions across countries and languages. In Korea, major broadcasters dedicated entire segments to show the scale of fan-led projects, while in the US and Europe, fashion and lifestyle magazines emphasized Jungkook's dual identity as a music star and a global influencer. The merging of these narratives meant that Jungkook's birthday was not just a fan event, but a cross-industry occasion that reached politics, business, and media. At the heart of this historic moment was something deeply emotional: the journey of Jungkook himself. Fans remembered the boy who debuted at 15, often shy but endlessly hard-working, who grew in front of cameras into one of the world's most recognized performers. His birthday represented survival, resilience, and achievement against odds. HYBE's historic celebration amplified those emotions. When fans saw global landmarks lit up with Jungkook's name or watched live-streamed events where millions tuned in simultaneously, they didn't just see lights and screens, they saw their collective love and effort reflected back at them. The emotional pull wasn't manufactured, it was organic, born from years of mutual dedication between artist and fans. The true significance of HYBE's move was in its symbolism. This wasn't simply about honoring one member of BTS. It was about rewriting the rules of how an entertainment company can celebrate its artists. By investing in this scale of celebration, HYBE set a new industry standard. Birthdays can be more than personal milestones. They can be global cultural moments. For fans, the event became proof of what they had always believed. Jungkook's existence mattered on a scale larger than music charts. For HYBE, it was a declaration of intent that they are ready to push the boundaries of what fandom-driven culture can achieve. In many ways, the birthday celebration became a mirror reflecting the relationship between Jungkook, HYBE, and ARMY. It showed that his story is not an isolated journey, but a shared experience between artist, company, and millions of fans worldwide. The historic birthday celebration raises an inevitable question. What comes next? Once a company has created such a large-scale spectacle, expectations naturally rise. Will HYBE continue this tradition for other members? Will Jungkook's next milestones be celebrated with equal grandeur? One thing is clear. The bar has been raised. Jungkook's birthday this year was no longer just a date on the calendar. It became an annual cultural event that fans and media alike will anticipate. Every year from now on, comparisons will be made, and the legacy of this particular celebration will continue to echo. HYBE is not a company that leaves milestones to chance. Every major event in BTS's history has been marked by meticulous planning, and Jungkook's birthday was no exception. This year, the timing was particularly critical. With BTS members completing their mandatory military service and Jungkook standing out in his solo career, HYBE understood the symbolic importance of his birthday. The company chose to amplify the moment when Jungkook was at the peak of his global visibility. His recent solo releases had already dominated international charts, while fashion collaborations had solidified his position as a style icon. HYBE's decision to invest resources into this celebration meant they were reinforcing a narrative. Jungkook is not just a temporary star, he is here to stay. By centering his birthday as a cultural moment, HYBE ensured that Jungkook remained the focus of media attention, not just as a singer, but as a phenomenon. It was a move that kept him relevant during a transitional time in BTS's career and extended his reach beyond the music industry. Pulling off a celebration of this scale required enormous resources. From booking prime advertising spaces in New York, London, and Tokyo, to synchronizing digital platforms for countdowns, HYBE mobilized its international networks to ensure global coverage. Partnerships with streaming platforms, fashion outlets, and broadcasting channels expanded the reach even further. In Seoul, HYBE curated physical experiences. Fans could visit pop-up exhibitions, purchase exclusive merchandise, and participate in fan gatherings designed around Jungkook's career milestones. Every space was branded not just with his image, but with elements that reflected his personal journey from trainee days to world tours. Behind these efforts was a clear understanding. Fandom culture thrives on shared experiences. By providing spaces where fans could gather, HYBE created an atmosphere that mirrored a festival. It was no longer just Jungkook's birthday. It was a public holiday for millions of ARMYs. Yet, No matter how much HYBE planned, the event would not have been historic without the response of the fans. Armies around the world took HYBE's blueprint and elevated it with their own creativity and devotion. From Seoul to Sao Paulo, fans organized their own local projects. They rented entire subway lines to display birthday ads, collaborated with local businesses to run cafe events, and even projected Jungkook's face onto skyscrapers. Some fans focused on philanthropy. Donations to children's hospitals, environmental campaigns, and community aid programs were launched in Jungkook's name. The duality of these fan projects, one side glamorous and highly visible, the other deeply humanitarian, reflected Jungkook's dual impact as both an entertainer and a source of inspiration. This was not a fan base merely celebrating an idol. This was a community creating tangible change in the world because of him. What made the celebration historic wasn't just its scale, but the emotions woven into it. Fans weren't only celebrating another year of Jungkook's life, they were celebrating the journey they had taken with him. Many armies remembered the young boy who once called himself a baby who still needs to grow. Seeing him now, leading the global stage, they felt as though they had grown with him. Social media became a space of collective storytelling. Fans shared old clips of Jungkook's earliest performances, his struggles during training, and his moments of doubt. These were contrasted with his present achievements: stadium tours, global fashion campaigns, and record-breaking songs. The juxtaposition reminded everyone that Jungkook's story was not just one of talent, but of perseverance. In this sense, HYBE's large-scale celebration amplified not only the joy, but also the nostalgia. Fans cried watching buildings light up in his honor, not simply because of the lights, but because each flicker represented years of support, patience, and shared victories. The event did not remain confined to K-pop news outlets. Mainstream media picked it up worldwide, framing Jungkook's birthday as a cultural moment worth analyzing. In South Korea, it was discussed as a reflection of the nation's growing global cultural power. News anchors highlighted how one artist's birthday could dominate international spaces, equating it to soft power diplomacy. Meanwhile, Western media analyzed it from a business and cultural perspective. Articles in fashion and business magazines discussed HYBE's strategy, comparing it to global entertainment powerhouses like Disney or Marvel, who also turn personal milestones into global spectacles. The coverage signaled a larger shift. K-pop idols were no longer just musicians from South Korea. They were cultural leaders with influence that extended to politics, business, and humanitarian work. Jungkook's birthday wasn't just a celebration, it was a case study in global influence. From a corporate perspective, HYBE's move was as strategic as it was celebratory. By investing in Jungkook's birthday, the company generated enormous publicity that benefited not only the artist, but also the company's brand value. Stock market analysts noted spikes in HYBE-related conversations, with speculation that the event would indirectly boost the company's business in music, merchandise, and brand collaborations. Global brands associated with Jungkook also saw increased visibility. Fashion companies, beverage sponsors, and even digital platforms benefited from the ripple effect of the celebration. Every photo of Jungkook shared during his birthday event became a marketing opportunity, subtly reinforcing brand ties. This intersection of emotion and economics demonstrated why HYBE's strategy was revolutionary. It wasn't just about giving back to fans, it was about leveraging an emotional moment into measurable global impact. What separated this celebration from previous years was its hybrid nature. It wasn't purely fan-driven, nor was it entirely company-led. Instead, It was a collaboration where both sides recognized each other's roles. Fans didn't feel overshadowed by HYBE's large-scale plans, and HYBE didn't feel threatened by fans' independent projects. Instead, the two merged into one harmonious festival. This collaboration reflected a shift in entertainment culture. Fans are no longer passive consumers. They are co-creators of cultural moments. Jungkook's birthday was historic because it exemplified this dynamic perfectly. HYBE's historic celebration of Jungkook's birthday may set a precedent for the future of K-pop. It suggests that entertainment companies may begin to treat personal milestones of idols as opportunities for global branding. Birthdays, anniversaries, and even enlistment dates could become cultural spectacles rather than private moments. For fans, this raises expectations. They will now anticipate that future birthdays of BTS members and even other HYBE artists will be marked with similar grandeur. For the industry, it sets a new standard of what it means to celebrate an idol. It is no longer about gifts and cakes, but about creating a cultural footprint that leaves headlines.